I'm just going to double check that everything is working good on my side here. How's everybody doing so far? Looks like we are here. And there I am. Okay, great. So I see the chat here. So go ahead, and if you want to, let me know where you're coming in from. I've got a few people on live right now. John here from incomesh.com. Thank you guys for joining live. Got some cool things to share with you today. So feel free to kind of just leave your comments in the chat over here. I see what's going on here. Okay, fantastic. I see Andrew's here, and he just left a comment. And yeah, you're right, man. He just says he checked out the pro page for what we're taking a look at here, and this might be the first real Gutenberg offering that he says to be afraid, page builders be very afraid. I'm not so sure about all that yet, but it's certainly the steps are being taken towards that direction. I'll be nice and casual here today, guys. If you have any questions, this is also just kind of some open coaching. If there's anything in particular you want to talk about, I've got a few cool announcements to make, but any questions you have, feel free to leave them in the chat, and we'll get to them as they come through. All right, so couple things. First and foremost is I've been doing a giveaway recently. It ended a few days ago. I hope you guys found out about it and were able to put your name into the hat. I was giving away a lifetime license to Breezy Pro, and happy to announce that Mike has received his license. He got it all good to go. So thank you guys for everybody who did sign up for it. And I'm curious if you would like to see me do additional giveaways. I love working and building connections and relationships with the companies like Breezy and Astra and Brainstorm Force and all the other great companies out there. So if you are interested in getting free stuff, go ahead and let me know what are you most interested in. I know I've covered a ton of content on my channel, talking about different page builders, different learning management systems, all kinds of great stuff that I think that I find, discover, learn, and teach to you guys. I would love to continue to help provide some freebies and good things for you. So leave in the chat what of the different softwares and tools I talk about, teach, recommend, and kind of just diagnose for you. Which ones are you most interested in? Would you love to see either a special deal going on or any sort of giveaways? Feel free to leave that in the chat, and I'll be happy to do what I can to serve you. Hey Tim, hey Fresh Analytics. He asked, can I share what tool I use for software app demonstrations and teachings? Yeah, if you go to incomesh.com/screencast, it's let me just put it on the screen here. I love it. You know, I used to use super fancy software. So incomesh.com/screencast. This is my affiliate link, but I'm not earning any money off of this. Like, it's going to get you 20% off as well, discount, really nice, but it's $1 a month. Like, I'm not doing this to make money. This is seriously just the best software for this specific use case. Screencast-O-Matic. If you want to do really fancy Hollywood quality stuff, this is not the software for you, but for quick editing, this is fantastic. Cool, got 13 people live here. This is fantastic. Hey, David from the UK. Fantastic, man. Thank you for joining. Yeah, so if you like the content that I do, you know, I also have a question. Leave in the chat here. I have heard that I feel like I speak slowly in my natural state, like kind of walking around. I'm from the South, but also I think sometimes I can get too rapid on my YouTube tutorials. So let me know if when I'm giving my videos, should I slow down, speed up, stay the same? I know YouTube has speed controls. So I'm curious to hear what you guys think about how I deliver, if I can do anything better. I've got some cool projects I'm working on for you guys. So I want to make sure that the way that I deliver is effective for you. Another thing, just kind of warm everybody up before we get into the good stuff, is yeah, this happened. So my wife, love her to death, she says she likes when I change my appearance. So this is definitely a change to my appearance. I installed for her a little makeup mirror in the bathroom the other day, and I was like, I can finally see like the back of my head because I can use both mirrors to kind of triangulate. So I decided to go and have some fun with the buzzer that I've been using for my beard trimmer, and I decided to go all the way around. You know, I'm all about efficiency. Finding the right plugins for things, finding the right haircut, and this saves me a little bit of money, and more importantly, a little bit of time of going to the haircut spot and all that. So I hope you enjoy. I might have to do more videos like this where I do the screen only, at least until everything grows back. But I'd love to have fun. I'd love to change some things up. So yeah, that's what's going on now. So yeah, Fresh Analytics asks if Screencast-O-Matic is similar to Camtasia. Similar. It would be the bare bones basic. Camtasia is a great tool. I also use Camtasia if I'm doing like a sales video where I really want to have a lot of cool animations and the text bopping around and doing all cool things. Camtasia is superior to Screencast-O-Matic. But what Screencast-O-Matic does, it does really well, which is just simply giving me a nice, easy way to kind of do real-time edits. You'll notice when I'm doing my videos, I'm dragging my face around if I'm trying to block a button. Or if I like having my face on the screen. I feel like that builds a better personal connection when I'm teaching something. So I like to have that small screen that Screencast-O-Matic does really well, and then I can move it around if it gets in the way. So it's almost like I'm doing half of my video editing as I'm recording, which is a huge benefit. And then also, as Susie mentioned on the comment there, it also has some efficiencies when you're doing the editing because you can scrub, like watch over your recording at 2x speed. So if you're just trying to make sure that there's no ums or anything that you need to replace completely, you can do that really easily using Screencast-O-Matic. I'm giving away all my secrets today. Hey, Brutzel from Germany. Are you from Munich by any chance? That was my favorite place in the whole wide world. I love their beer there. Hello, Anne from Colorado. And thank you, Tim. Cool. All right. Well, I don't want to spend too much time on the pleasantries, but if you have any questions as we're going through, I want to do a couple cool things, do a small workshop here. And also, is my audio okay? Because I'm using a different microphone. Let me know if the audio is sounding good as well, not too loud, if I need to push this away. Looks like my levels are good. I'm not hitting the red too much. So, yeah, I'm using the ATR 2100 microphone. It's the one that I started to use, and then I upgraded to the Blue Yeti because I'd heard so many great things about it. Unfortunately, we have a lot of surrounding noise in our area. We've got the landscapers seem to come every other day. I don't know why. They cut our grass so often, and I live with 3 kids that are here sometimes, and I try to get some recording done. So this one has less of a pickup. So if you are also looking for doing tutorials like this, I love this microphone. I came back to it. It's only like $60. So I think that's on my resources page as well. If you want to go pick one up, it's fantastic. All right, guys. So the agenda for the day, let me pull up a little notepad that I made for myself here. A couple things is, an exciting announcement is I've been kind of collaborating with Brainstorm Force. Recently, Brainstorm Force is the company around Astra and a lot of really cool plugins. And so I'm teaching a little special course for you who want to start out with web design. And so stay tuned. I just want to kind of tease that out there. I'm really excited. I'm working on it actually today and for the rest of this week to get it done. So I'm really excited. If you guys haven't purchased Cartflows yet or haven't upgraded to an Astra Pro license, it's a really good time to do that because something special is coming with those purchases soon. Yep. Ganesh, we're going to dive into Qubely in just a minute, and I have the pro version, which I'll show you guys as well, which is really awesome. Tim's asking, does it record as well as edit? Yes, Screencast-O-Matic, it is how I record my videos. A downside to Camtasia, not to get too far off topic here, is that when you're recording your webcam and your screen, it doesn't really give you a good high-quality resolution of the webcam, at least on my version that I'm using for Camtasia, and Screencast-O-Matic makes it really nice and easy. Okay, let's go ahead and waste no more time and show you. This is kind of what I want to unpack a little bit today. I have a premium course called Gutenberg Hero, which walks you through kind of not shunning, but it gives you the alternative path to page builders, which helps you really do some fantastic designing inside of Gutenberg without using Elementor or Breezy or any of the other page builders, which I also love and use. But I know there's a growing faction, there's a growing list of people, constituents out there who are trying to move away from page builders because, to be fair, they do implement some consequences to your website. When you bring page builders in, you have some flexibility in one area, but then it just feels like you're using a different experience. You're not using the WordPress core experience. So I wanted to make sure that I offered an in-depth training to help everybody learn how to really design with WordPress without feeling harnessed to a page builder. So that's Gutenberg here. You can go to inkamesh.com and check it out. I've just released some updates to it, and a full refresh is coming very, very soon. So if you are in the camp of not wanting to use page builders, I have Gutenberg here there for you. And if you're interested in it, let me know. We might be able to work out a little deal, a little coupon there. But also, Elementor Hero is one I just released. I'm super proud of this because Elementor is a fantastic page builder. I just released a video about 8 reasons why I still consider it the king of page builders. So I wanted to go ahead and make a full in-depth tutorial. There's over 4.5 hours of video content where I go step by step, very actionable, taking you through building out a beautiful website with Elementor. I'm proud of it. I like it. If you're interested, feel free to check that out as well. You just go to incomesh.com/learn, or it'll be there when you're logged in. Okay, so those are kind of the backgrounds of page builders. Hey, Stratos, how's it going? So Qubely is one where, like, if you don't know the name Themium, you might know the name Tutor LMS. And so this is the same company that is behind Tutor LMS and a really growing list of fantastic premium tools for WordPress. And Qubely is their latest pro tool for building out pages with WordPress. Can I have volume up, please? Let me see if I can. Is everybody else having some issues with volume? Thank you for letting me know. I don't want to mess anything up here, but let me see if I can add some gain real fast. Let's just go slide it up. All right, so check 1 2. Hopefully this will work out a little bit better. I'll just at least make sure that I'm close to the mic here. And also, is anybody else having issue with sound? Please let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I'll hope that I'm clear enough. I'll just make sure I speak into the mic. So Qubely is a page builder, and this is where things get a little confusing because WordPress, you think of WordPress as the block editor, but then you have page builders that are a separate experience. But what we're seeing here is that the gap is narrowing, slowly but surely, but the gap is narrowing to where we are becoming less and less dependent on third-party page builders or like entirely separate editing experiences. And more of the functionality that we need, thank you, Stratos, more of the functionality that we need is being baked in directly to the WordPress builder. And in Gutenberg here, I gave out a list of different block kits, different design kits that you can use with Gutenberg. And they were the best ones that were available at the time. Hence why I'm going to go through and do a full refresh on the course, because I really do think that what I'm going to show you here, just give you kind of like a little sneak peek, is a whole nother level. So we can see you're getting blocks you can add into your content. We'll go and show you this all step by step. And the reason why I'm making this video now is because it is kind of in its infancy of the pro version. The beta's been out for a while. I've been playing with it for a while. The free version's been out for a little while, but they have a new toolkit, and they also have a discount right now where you can get it for 50% off. And again, if you'd like to support the channel, you can go to incomemesh.com/Qubely. I'll put that in the chat as well if you guys are interested in checking it out by the end of the video. mesh.com/Qubely. And then you'll be able to go to the pricing table here. And right now, so here's where I'm still kind of working through. I think that $19 a year is a great price. But I'm honestly, I'm working through the whole pricing structure. I need to talk to them about their pricing strategy here. Elementor is a fantastic deal. I think for Elementor, it's $50 to get an annual pass for a single website. Here's $20, so it's a good discount from that, but also Elementor gives you additional functionality. So I'm going to go ahead and just show you here. I think this is a good price. When it's at full price at $39 for a license, I'm honestly not sure if it's going to really compete with Elementor in terms of pricing. What I can tell you though is that when it comes to building out content, if you're firm on not embracing page builders and using your own content inside of WordPress, this is going to be one of the best design kits you can find, at least right now. So what does it look like? I'm just going to I pulled up a blank website. I use Astra for 99% of my websites. It's just easy. I'm good at it now. I know how to do everything. So I pulled up a blank little dummy website here using the Astra theme. Let's go ahead and just show you directly what this is like. And if you have any questions specifically around this tool or any questions in general, again, feel free to put those in the chat. So similar to a page builder like Elementor, when you go to create a new page, I'll just call this new page in Qubely, you have this button up here where you would be accustomed, like you would expect this to take you over to a different screen to go into the page building experience. So here's where things are a little bit different because we are staying in Gutenberg. There's a lot of benefits in doing this. So if I click on import layout, does this look familiar to anybody? Like this is a pure like pull from Breezy's design, which I think is a great idea. Breezy has done some amazing work in designing out the user experience of building out pages. And so let's just be honest, Qubely kind of ripped it and put it in for their own, and it's a great experience. So like Breezy and like several others, you can pull in entire sections for your website as well as entire pages. So you can go to the starter pack here. If you are getting into the agency work, this is a great time saver here, where if you have a dentist client, let's say, and if they're not very picky, you can come in here and just boom, bada bing, bada boom, import a full page onto your, import a full layout onto your page. And it'll look kind of like this. Let me go to my document settings and make a few changes here. Let's just make this full width and remove the sidebar. Disable the title. I'm just going to do a couple things to clean this up how it would look when I publish it. And let's publish this. As I check it out, look at that. Can you like fathom that this was built in in Gutenberg? This is an extremely attractive page. If you were to try to achieve this on your own, it'd be frustrating. Like it would just be not very easy. So Qubely has really done an amazing job at giving you a lot of design flexibility inside of Gutenberg. What do you guys think about that? Is that pretty cool? For those of you who might be seeing this for the first time, I'm going to go ahead and edit the page, and we'll work through this a little bit together. All right, so we're here to edit the page, and okay, so this is where things are not ideal. Like, I'm just going to go ahead and be truthful with you guys. I'm still not the biggest fan of editing highly designed pages inside of Gutenberg. And there's only so much that companies like Qubely can do. It really is on WordPress to make the experience just a little bit easier than it is right now. Ooh, Oxygen Builder on page load speeds. We can test that. Unfortunately, I'm working here in a local environment, Amit, so I can't really do a speed test on this. I could create a different website, but I'll have to do it. I'll maybe do a side-by-side comparison with some performance stats, because that's going to take me actually designing the same page the same way and then running different tests. But I will do that. And I've done, I think I tested 5 different page builders several months ago, where I did exactly that, building out close to an identical page and then running some speed tests to compare performance. And in that test, Gutenberg, I think, was the highest performer. So it'll be cool to see how it does, how it continues to do going forward. Okay, so to actually make changes to this, if you bring in a block or in a full page layout and you need to start making changes, it gets a little bit trickier. And I walk through as many tips and tricks as I know inside of Gutenberg here to go through that, but I'll show you some here right now if you're not familiar with the Gutenberg editor that much. So first thing, I would go into full screen mode, and that'll kind of open up the canvas a little bit, give you some time to work through this. And in this case, if I wanted to make some changes to this entire container, you can see we've got some padding on the top, some padding down here. It's a little bit tricky to find exactly where it is that you're selecting right now. So next to the import layout button, you have this navigation area. And this is kind of like the navigator that you have in Elementor and other builders. It's just a little more complicated here. So here we're selecting the image, and you can see the image is inside of a column, and the column is part of a 2-column layout, and that's part of a row. So you get the hierarchy of understanding how things are going. Oh, cool. Gutenberg is faster than Oxygen. Very nice. So, all right. So that's how you can navigate the design of what you're working with. And when you're clicked on any individual element, you'll have the block settings over here on the right, where you can decide how things show up. So if I want to change this from a simple, I think this is like a simple image, I can change it to a blurb, where it's an image block. And this is familiar, right? This is very similar to the call to action button inside of Elementor. There's a lot of things that work in this same way. So Qubely has done a great job of taking, let's just be honest, like not the best interface and making it useful, making it like usable, I should say. So they've got a ton of settings over here, and this is just an image. Like you wouldn't imagine there'd be that many settings for just an image. But you can add box shadows, and you can see it's being applied real time. You can adjust the angle and the width, the spread, the blur, the color of the box shadow. A lot of things that are reserved for page builders today, they've found a way to bring in those settings here as well directly into the Gutenberg block editor. You see here they also allow you to upload an image A for low-res devices and image B for high-res devices. So I mean, just really, really interesting stuff that they've done here. Let me just show you a couple of things that I think are really well done. If we click here to the button, you can see you have the ability to add gradients to buttons, to do multiple stops on the colors, borders, radiuses, icon adds. So you can add an icon here and just give maybe like 2 arrows to the right. And it just looks the way you'd want it to look. I even find myself doing more design work and trying to get things to go just for how I want it using other page builders. And they've really done a great job of building that intuitive build process into the default WordPress editor. Now, does this mean that I say forget page builders and all go in on Qubely? No, not in the least. I know there is a market out there that does not want to go into the page builder land, and in that case, I think that we're getting more and more there to having Gutenberg be a fantastic premium page building experience. But right now, there's just still some things that I'm not happy with, and it's not Qubely's fault. It's just part of WordPress core. For example, if I make changes here, I really don't know how it's exactly going to look until I hit an update and I move on. So let's do this here. So I'm going to change this padding here from 50 pixels. And there we go. From 50 to maybe 100. And 100 down at the bottom there. So I can see what's happening as I'm making the changes, but still this isn't the exact like pixel perfect design that you can see using premium page builders. So as I go and I view this, you can see the box shadow has been made over here. And so this is where I added additional padding. I added 100 pixels of padding between here and here. That's not how it looked on the front end. As I go back to edit, let's just find this dentist guy again so you guys can see it. Hey, Andy, good to see you, Ben. Now it looks like it kept me at 50 pixels. What's going on here? Let's do 100. Maybe I didn't hit update. Maybe that's my fault. 100. Update. All right, it's updated. I see 100. I'm going to view the page in a new tab. Okay, I think there's additional padding there. All right, so let me go ahead and build a new page and do this one differently to show you why I think that Qubely is really, really awesome. So build by blocks. Like Breezy, I can tell Qubely and the Themium team, they have really put a lot of effort into good designed individual blocks and not just focusing on entire pages, because let's be honest, it's not common you're going to want to pull an entire page in because you'll have to go through and make so many changes there. What I do mostly is I'll look for inspiration on like a hero section. Like this is a really well-designed hero section. I'll import this. And now this block can be interspersed with any other that goes along. Let me just show you what it looks like on the front end. Again, okay, so this is the beauty. We're in standard Gutenberg. So this looks just like a page that you'd be building using the default settings. So I do need to go and adjust those to make it look more like a landing page. So I'm going to come here and the sidebar. Let's first remove the sidebar and just show you that's going to start getting us there. I want to remove that title. So let's remove that title. And this is sometimes how I end up building is just making a change, hitting update, and going and checking it out. If you're building on a local machine like I'm building here, I'm not connected to Bluehost or anything. This is just running off my computer. It's very quick and easy to work this way. Content layout. Now, right now, I think it's unboxed. So I could do like full width contained and take a look at how that goes. Let me preview it. And now it's starting to look better, right? Like this is okay. But I really want to do that full width stretch so I get a full page experience. And so there we go. That should be it. Boom. So now you can start to see, and if I want to make this a pure landing page just to offer like a freebie, I could do even more. Oops, where I could remove the header and I could remove even the footer and I could save that. And now this looks like a landing page you would see anywhere else, right? Pretty cool stuff. Yeah, exactly. Okay, fantastic. So a couple good discussion going on here in the comments. Can Qubely be used for whatever template? And then talking about page builders and posts and pages and all that. And in the video I released recently about Elementor, I also shared my feelings about all this. Is that I think page builders like Elementor should really be reserved for pages, not for posts. I think posts, I've done this before. I've done it with Thrive Architect, which is close to being good, but it's hard. For blog posts specifically, Gutenberg is the best experience I have had. I like to write long, meaty blog posts on different topics, and what I found is that going back and editing through something that was built inside of like an Elementor or Breezy, it's just difficult. Not only is it difficult to work with and edit around, but if you want to add things in between blocks of text, it just doesn't work very well. This is exactly where things like Qubely can come into play. Let me show you why. Let me do a quick little lorem ipsum generator and just get some text here for you guys. And let's generate, let's say 5 paragraphs of text. Okay, generate and copy. It's a cool little website, loremipsum.io. If you ever want to just test things out, or maybe if you're working with a new client and you need to get some blocks of text and they haven't provided it to you yet, you can just do this and give yourself a good idea. So what I like about Gutenberg in regards to posts and pages and having the same build experience for both is because you have a lot more flexibility. This block, every paragraph is its own block. Even if you're writing it out long form, and for example, if you were in Elementor, once you have 5 paragraphs of text, that's kind of like a unbreakable chain of content. You'd have to go and split it out and do it all manually. This, it kind of nicely separates everything for you. So if I wanted to add an image or some special design in between these two, I can click it in, find Qubely, and now I can, within my blog post, as well as my heavily designed pages, I can add this image box or info box as an example. And this is one of the really cool elements where I can add special icons I want, change the size of it very easily, not having to worry so much about pixels, like getting the exact size and checking responsiveness. They have some pretty well preset selectors there. So when I go back to what I was talking about pricing, like $20 for a year, it's not like, okay, $20 for a year. That's like a cup of coffee. It's way less than a cup of coffee per month. It's extremely affordable, but in terms of competition, like Elementor is better for designing pages, but if you're a blogger and you want something to give you to spice up your blog post a little bit better, but not have to go and bounce into a different experience each time, this is where these premium page builders are coming into play for Gutenberg. You can change it to an image, to an icon. You just have a lot of flexibility here. You can also very quickly change layouts for info boxes, like how you want things to look. So it's a good time saver. And then we can check this out on the front end as well. And we can see what happened here. So this is kind of where you have to be careful. You do have to be careful. What I did was I had this layout on the full width and stretched, so everything goes across the screen. This looks awful, right? So it's really easy to fix, but it's one thing that with Gutenberg, to get the right design with your theme and all of that, you have to be careful in how you set things up. What I should have done is I should have created a row right here. And let's say I want this to be a full width row. I've got all my content here. Now I can drag things into that row, which is a bit of a pain. And let's just double check that's going to do what I want it to do. Okay, so now see, for example, all you had to do was kind of tell it, hey, there's a row here. And in Qubely, at least, the rows have some pretty smart settings so that you know it's going to be a good width for what you're trying to do. You can customize the width by going into the row settings, and you can see right now it's set to be like a default width, but I can also make it stretch across the entire page, and then I can say, hey, do I want it to be a very broad section? I can do this, and it'll spread it out. Or I know I'm like zipping through this really fast. I'm probably going to stop doing this stuff because I think you get the picture, and I don't want to bore you with tutorial stuff. So, but yeah, this is a pretty exciting opportunity if you're interested in trying it out. They also do have a return policy. Let's just check that out. So they have 30-day money-back guarantee. Let me give you a couple of little previews of some of the different options inside of this tool here. So if I go into Qubely, I can add a row, and you can design it out how you want to. And let's say you want to do, you can do some info boxes, or yeah, let's just do info boxes. This is very common, right? And duplicate this out and move it over. And overall, it's a pretty easy experience. Okay, so you can do something like this. Or if you are not the design aficionado, which I'm not always, you can pull in the blocks as you're working through the page. And so let's say you want to come to a pricing table, and they've got, like, these are premium looking pricing tables. These look great, right? I'll import this. And now you can see it's going to, again, kind of make things look weird in the designer, like in the editor here. But when you go into the front end, it will look how it's supposed to look. This is my big gripe with Gutenberg. So see, this looks fantastic, but you really have to check it on the front end and the back end both to see what it's going to look like. Like, I don't know if this is going to look good the way it's written here, but you can see it turns out well on the front end. Yeah, Strato. So I would say Gutenberg is definitely what I write posts in. And then I still use Elementor and Thrive, depending on the purpose, for my pages. But I would love for that to be able to be under one experience, because here's one of the challenges. You go through and you design these blog posts and you use whatever block kit you have in Gutenberg to design it up a little bit. But then you go to a page and the buttons don't look quite the same, because every kit has its own certain style, or at least it would be a lot of work to kind of make everything look exactly on brand. So there's definitely, the goal in mind should be to have like a single source of design kit, like a single tool for everything. And that's kind of what Thrive Architect tries to be. It tries to be, you use this for everything. And Elementor with their theme builder, you kind of build everything out to look the same. So there are ways to do it, but they're not the best for writing blog posts. That's my perspective. Yeah, Fresh Analytics. So can you use Elementor for pages and Gutenberg Qubely for blog on the same site? Absolutely. They're both plugins. So there is a limitation, but let's walk through that real quick. So let me come back over here, and we'll just install Elementor on the same site here. Oh, let me get out of my... This is good. I need to refresh myself before I go through Gutenberg Hero again. All right, so we can install the Elementor page builder as well. And I'm not going to be able to pronounce your name, but you ask how can you create a page like this in Gutenberg? Yeah, the Qubely block plugin is advanced. If you search for Qubely, spelled Qubely, you can get the free version and check that out. And then you'll be able to test that out yourself for sure. So Tim's saying, unless I'm wrong, the issue is if a client wants different looks for different categories, et cetera, et cetera. Yep. Yeah. You're talking about like archive areas. You're right. So if you have a client who, like, so here's the thing, right? Theme building is the way of the future. Like, if you do web design, it's just not going to cut it anymore if you say, oh, I can make things look however I want it to within this box, within the content box of the page. But when you want to get into designing any other part of the page, like how your WooCommerce product catalog looks, you should have a solution for that as well. If you want to be at that pro level. If it's a small business website, you might not even need a blog archive page in the first place. But things like categories and archives and search results pages and 404 pages and things like that, yeah, that's where I kind of scratch my head, Tim, as I look at the pricing of Elementor versus the pricing of this Qubely block. Like, I want to give Qubely their dues, right? I want to really help them out and call some attention, because I think what they're doing is awesome. But to your point, the theme builder is kind of a critical component, and to me, that's required at this point for a tool that I use for client projects. I've been in the position before where I would start with a tool that wouldn't allow me to adjust the theme, because I thought that the client would be totally happy with with how the theme was laid out using Astra. But then it started to get into, can you tweak this? Can you tweak that? Can you tweak that? And I was like, oh my gosh, like, it's really hard right now. But if I had chosen one that had a theme builder from the get-go, I would have been in a much easier position as I was going through. So really, really good points. So with that, now we can go into add a page. And we had a previous question about, can you use Elementor and Qubely on the same website? So yeah, so Elementor. So here I can go into the Elementor editor and work through this. but I can't mix and match. So that's 90% true. Once you're building an Elementor, you're in Elementor land. You can pull some short codes in and things like that, but you're not going to be able to pull in a Qubely block, for example. And then there are some tricks to be able to work from Gutenberg and still pull content in from Elementor, which we won't cover in this live here. But in general, once you have a page builder, just for the consistency, it's probably best for you to kind of use that for the vast majority of the work that you do there. So that is kind of Qubely blocks. I am super excited. I'm going to be going through and re-recording, reshooting, doing everything I can to update Gutenberg here to keep it up and running. Because here's the thing. Gutenberg changes all the time. It changes extremely quickly, which is fantastic. But it does also, it makes us stay on our toes, which is a good thing. Let's see. Any questions here? Yeah, one thing just on my mind, I wanted to kind of give some additional props. I'm really impressed with how Groundhog is progressing. Groundhog is email marketing platform that's built inside of WordPress, and just for little things like having social proof plugins and social proof pop-ups and things like that, I'm really impressed with what they're able to do. So I've kind of gone through and done a redesign on my website recently and trying to integrate a bit more dynamic content in. So now if you have a free account and you're logged in, you'll actually see a different homepage than if you're logged out. So I'm playing around trying to give a better experience for people. And if you guys want to give me any feedback, feel free to head over to my contact page and let me know how you're feeling, and happy to help you out as we go. See, I think I'm live for about 30 minutes or so. Let me see here. If you create a look for posts, do you need to create for every post? If you create I'm reading Tim's question here. Donna and Andy. No. I'm not, well, I'm changing a little bit, but keeping things fresh. If you create a look for posts, do you need to create for every post? Tim, are you asking if you create like a template in your blog posts? So something you can do. If you want to clarify that, I think I know what you're saying, but so for example, if I'm writing a blog post, this is, oh wow. And if you're writing through and you add in, let's say for example, I'm on my website. I was like, this isn't the same. Let me go back to my test site here. So if I'm going through here and I just want to add some Qubely content in, let me give you a little overview. Not that you'd want to do this. Like, you definitely don't want to add a ton of design elements in your blog post. It gets a little annoying. But you can go in, add a row, add an icon. And also, even just like the CSS animations, like how the rocket kind of zoomed in on the screen as you brought it in. They've really done a lot of quality of life updates here, which I really think is nice. Advanced text is a good one where it'll automatically pull in a header block, some text blocks. So they do their best to give you what you need to be successful up front. Let's add one more thing. Let's just add like an image. And I like their button groups as well. Putting two buttons side by side, I don't know why it's so difficult, but it's difficult in most builders. Okay, so we got a couple of different buttons. So I think to answer your question, Tim, you can, like, for example, if you want to be able to reuse this, or if you could do some additional styling, like where you color, you're very quick on the colors. So maybe you want to do this color here. You get the idea. I'm not going to waste too much. Put a box there. Okay. So if you want to reuse this, you can save it to a reusable block and pull this in as well. And we'll call this button group 1. And it can be more than just a single element. So for example, this entire row, let's show you here. So this row has text, icons, columns, and a row. I can take this entire row as well and save this as a reusable block. And maybe I'll call this call to action rocket. Something that you'd remember. And if I publish this post, you can see it's not really that fancy now, is it? Because I didn't add any links to the buttons. So this content here, you could design it once and be able to reuse it over and over, which is helpful. But in general, if like with Elementor, you can design exactly how the blog post page looks. Like you can customize the sidebar really easily and do different things. Qubely is still not a theme builder, so that's not it's it's good. It's not fantastic. Tom's asking if you can do a speed test. If I had thought ahead of time, I would have built this on an actual server. Right now, I'm just using my local machine. I don't think speed tests work on local machines. I promise you, Tom, I will do a video in the next week or so where I do a speed test on the same server, and I'll do one with Elementor, one with Qubely, and kind of design out a similar page. But that would take a while to make the speed test really useful. All right, so I guess this is great. 22 people live. This is fantastic. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate this. I just sent out an email an hour beforehand, so this is really, really good show up, and I appreciate you guys a lot. What I'll do, kind of in parting, is just remind you, we're allowed to remind each other, right? That I did just launch Elementor Hero. If you guys are looking at Elementor as your page builder, I'm talking about Qubely in this particular live, but I just released this course, over 3 dozen tutorials, over 4.5 hours of step-by-step. Some of my customers I can see are already here in the live, and I've heard some really good feedback, so thank you very much. And also, as I think you guys have seen about me, I'm pretty responsive. So if you're going through, you're checking it out, and if there's anything that's not quite right or you have a hard time following, I'm happy to update it and keep you guys successful as we go through. The last thing I'll tell you is if you're interested in Elementor and not Qubely, I mean, you guys do what's right for you. I'm an affiliate marketer. I enjoy teaching, and I'm happy if you guys make the right choice for you. If you decide that Elementor is right for you and you sign up using my affiliate link, which is incomemesh.com/Elementor, you can see it on my recommends page here. Just sign up using my affiliate link and shoot that receipt to my email, john@incomemesh.com, and I'll be happy to grant you access into the course. I'll probably do this for a limited time. I don't know if I want to have this deal forever, but if you want to sign up for Elementor and use that one, a nice little sweet deal is I'll give you the course 100% for free. Just going through, taking a look here, some of the questions. Okay. Compare Qubely to Gutenberg gives you 13 requests more than Gutenberg, which is a good number. Yeah. And I do know that different Gutenberg, so this is to Stratos, regarding HTTP requests, I've seen some block packs where you won't even use any content from their kit on your page, and it would still add a server request. It would still kind of bloat your website, even though you're not using it at all. To my knowledge, Qubely's done a good job of this, but I know the developers, like if there is anything that's not optimized, I haven't done that many speed tests with it yet, but if we do find things, I have just as much faith in the Themium crew as anybody else to make those adjustments. I know that I was releasing a Tutor LMS tutorial, which is also their product, and I was a little critical on certain areas, and like within a week they had fixed it. So 13 requests. That's better. That's way better than what a lot of page builders give you. So I think that's a good one there. Hermes asking, what's the difference between using Gutenberg and Qubely in writing posts? Great question. And this is one where sometimes I can like scoot over the answer there. So Gutenberg and Qubely are the same. Basically, it's like Gutenberg, the blocks you get are like the starter pack. So I come in here and I want to add something in. I can add an image, some headings, some list, things like that. But let's say, for example, I add a list using the one that's pre-built inside of WordPress. This is a list. All I can really do is bullets or numbers. That's okay. That's okay if that's what you need. But when you want to have additional functionality, additional design capabilities, that's where other block kits come into play. So in this one, for example, if I do I can do an advanced list. And so now, instead of simply having 1, 2, 3 or ... I can do check marks, or I can do icons or design or different things here. A lot of different, I can even do a box shadow. Why would you want a box shadow on a list? Some things are better left not done. But in order for you to get additional functionality, you have additional kits that can bring that functionality in for you, which is pretty cool. All right, guys. I think I'm going to call it at this point. If you have any questions on this, and if you want to be notified before I go live again, be sure to subscribe to the channel, the bell, all that. You guys know what to do. And create a free account over on incomemesh.com. I'm releasing more training, more focused opportunities for you guys, and doing little giveaways and things like that to subscribers. So feel free to hop over there and subscribe. And thank you for joining me live. Again, John from incomemesh.com signing off. And let's see here. One more question. Yeah. All right, guys. I'll see you later. Take care. Bye-bye.